How's it going? How's it going, everybody? The audio bitrate is 0. Thanks for that constant reminder, YouTube, that you don't know what you're talking about, and you're stupid, and I'm great. Hello! Audio check goes well. Alright, we'll let people gather while I finish setting up one more thing. Black Knight is here. Black Knight's here. I don't want that. Let's catch the other display. Boom! Wowzers! That sure is cool. Let me zoom in a little bit. Wow! Alright. So tonight, we have a survival match. Now, I did this last in August. It feels like a lot more recent than that, but I really like this format. If you ever played Super Smash Bros., you use the teams function. It's kind of like that. So Black Knight and Incars have each chosen 3 of their favorite factions. They chose these factions before they even know who their opponent was or what their opponent picked. So it was completely blind. Black Knight chose High Elves, Wood Elves, and Bretonnia. Those are his 3 favorite factions. Incars chose Tomb Kings, Greenskins, and Vampire Coast. Theoretically, his 3 favorite factions. Again, not knowing your opponent, not knowing the matchups, you should just pick what you like most. Now, the first 3 games are decided. High Elves versus Tomb Kings, Wood Elves versus Greenskins, and Bretonnia versus the Vampire Coast. But, unless it is a 3-0, where let's say Black Knight completely destroys Incars, let's just say that that's true, Incars gets deleted, and Black Knight wins 3-0. But let's say it doesn't go like that. Let's say Black Knight loses game 1. That is a bit big. Let's dial that back. Let's say Black Knight loses game 1, wins game 2, and loses game 3. You might be like, well, it's over, 2-1. No, his Wood Elves can still fight the Tomb Kings. If he wins that, he can go fight the Vampire Coast, and if he wins that, he is still the winner because he still had a faction remaining. So each side goes until they have used or lost, or whatever you want to call it, all of their factions. Sound good? Sounds good. So hoping for not a 3-0. That's the only thing I don't want. After that, 3-1, 3-2, don't care. Over under on the new orc being a colossal squig. New orc centerpiece unit. A colossal squig. Could be fun. Could be fun. I don't know if it's viable, but Black Knight would never lose game 1. This exercise makes no sense. Uh-oh. Oh, my bad. Players have known about these matchups for like 3 or 4 days, so I expect the build phases won't take excessively long. It's a for fun stream, so I doubt they like super hard practiced, but I would be surprised if neither of them even remotely considered what they would be doing. Tonight's stream should be a short little thing. Just a fun little amuse-bouche. What do we have the rest of the week? Tomorrow I'm hoping to stream the EU New Player Tournament that happened today. I can't guarantee that because I might be busy. But I'll try. We gotta run around and do some errands. I have some appointments to get to. So we'll see. Thursday I work. Friday I work. Saturday, if he hasn't announced it, I'm not going to. And then Sunday's free, so I don't know. Maybe. Maybe we'll do some fun stuff. Maybe we won't. Maybe fun is not allowed. Incars versus Black Knight. Game 1 is underway. And we have Imric. No surprise there. What is a little surprising is the Arcane Phoenix for the High Elves. And I'm kind of surprised that we have Kotep and double Necrosphinx. Usually you just see Cetra and 1 Necrosphinx. Is that Foot Kotep? I'm almost wondering if that's Foot Kotep, because this Tomb King's build looks very expensive, so he can't be on his DJ booth, but I almost wonder if they also just took him on foot to stay super cheap. Your theory crafting is that they give it the same build as normal squigs. The colossal squig is only base leadership 40. How big is a colossal squig though? Like, I know it's called a colossal squig, but like in comparison to other monsters, are you talking like rogue idol big, or is it like snow leopard big? Because snow leopards are still larger than basic squigs. Go Empire! Deft's Kit, there is no Empire tonight. But, hey, before you get mad, hey, yo, there were a bunch of Empire games in the new player tournament today. I was shocked it wasn't banned more often, but yeah. So whenever that stream is, probably tomorrow, but can't promise it, there's like 4 or 5 Empire games out of 15 replays I have to do. A Ragnarok Spider big. Size of a Rotting Violent. Oh, well then you're probably going to get it. Because they like to put at least one big monster in every DLC to get people to buy it. Because people buy it for the monsters, and they quickly remember that monsters suck in campaign, and then they don't get much use out of it in campaign, and then they get sad and stop playing campaign. Looking at you, Rotting Leviathan blobs. 19 Necrofex Colossi actually work, but 19 Rotting Leviathans is just ass. Alright, we're in the game. We saw the builds and loading screen, but really quickly we have Skeletons, Spearmen, and Warriors in a very wide front line. We have a Necrotect with Restore and Van Braces of the Sun, 2 Necro Sphinxes, 2 Ushapti, 3 Nehekara Horsemen, and we do have DJ Kotep, but on a horse. It's actually the Necrotect that is on foot, so one of them is on foot. I just guessed the wrong one. He has Curse Blades, Vengeance, and then Sadstorm. You said Sandstorm. Wait, you said Sadstorm instead of Sandstorm. That's because it's sad. Alright, for the High Elves, Triple Lyran Reaver, the Fireborn, Dragon Prince ROR. We do have an Arcane Phoenix, Quadruple Archer, Quadruple Spearman, Imric up in the sky, and a Lifecaster with just Earthblood. Imric has been strong for quite a while. He fell out of, like, meta for quite a bit. I haven't seen High Elves really spamming him out that much, but Black Knight took Imric before he was any good, and he is still taking him after he has fallen out of favor. Some people just like their favorite lord. He might have a hard time landing on a Necro Sphinx. Like, he's gonna go for it, but the Necro Sphinx will probably trade up into him. I suppose he has more healing than the Undead, which is weird to say, but the Tomb Kings are the one Undead faction that actually doesn't have a ton of healing. And Imric plus his Arcane Phoenix getting good damage out as the other Necro Sphinx is not nearby to help. I think that's why he took this fight, is because it was a 2v1 he could easily get to with his flying monsters, while the other Necro Sphinx is all the way across the battlefield. So Imric's in, popped all of his buffs, Star Lance. Imagine he'll throw Lord of Dragons down soon. And the fight is on. Fighting on top of High Elf Spears is pretty intense. As an Osirian's Incantation of Vengeance goes down on Kotep himself, I am suspecting that he got that weird bug that sometimes happens to Arkan, where Arkan will Spirit Leech himself. It's a very, very rough start here for the Tomb Kings, not getting anything to go their way. What should go their way is the a million Skeleton Warriors slowly walking towards the Archers to make sure those guys don't just get to shoot for free all game. The Arcane Phoenix gets left behind in a fight with the Necro Sphinx. It will lose that fight quite badly without Imric. Imric is going to use a breath attack, then probably hop right back in there. Refreshing his charge bonus and getting that nice big breath attack damage out was probably what he was going for. The Sadstorm pushed away. The Archers made them run while the Fireborn do some peeling in the back line. Imric is also going to land on the front. Jeff's Incantation Curse Blades is down for 25% more damage across the board for this big boy as he continues to fight back against Imric. And here comes the other Necro Sphinx. Now the tide has officially turned. Imric will no longer be bullying one Necro Sphinx, but losing to 2? Yes, it was just refreshing his charge bonus. Still has Restore and Jeff's Incantation Curse Blades. Dives back in. Imric is taking unholy amounts of damage. And I don't know if he's gotten orders to leave yet, but I think leaving would be a little difficult because he is surrounded by Horsemen and Ushapti, so it's not going great for him regardless. And he might even need the Fireborn to run up and peel him here. They are stuck on Skeleton Spearmen, fighting those for now. Imric does get away. Surprisingly, the Necro Sphinx has got distracted by the Arcane Phoenix, so they're just not going after him right now. Bounce power is pretty even. Black Knight is behind on damage, but with spamming out Earthbloods, I think the High Elves will be okay being behind on damage. Imrik's still stuck on the ground. The Necrosphinxes don't seem too interested in chasing down Imrik. They are instead going to fight the Fireborn, who have surrounded Kotep. Giant blades slicing through those Fireborn riders. Oh, okay, there's archers too. I was like, did he just kill like 8 Fireborn models with one hit? That seems insane. Imrik coming over, probably another breath attack on our futures. Dun, 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 dun. I thought. If it's not a breath attack, I don't know what he's doing, because he definitely shouldn't land with that little HP between 2 Necrosphinxes. That seems for Donkey Kong. Again, the Necrosphinx charges in with a sad storm covering its advance. The Fireborn are going to take the fight. Imrik's probably going to land on this thing now. Yeah, Lord of Dragons reduces its stats to pretty much nothing. It is surrounded by anti-large fire damage. The other Necrosphinx is joining in, but this should be a successful snipe to take out one of the 2 Necrosphinxes and really give Imrik a leg up in this fight. Because then he can get back into the sky, heal up until he's healthy enough to fight the other Necrosphinx in his own time. But he will never have to face a 2v1 again if that is dead. Necrotect is coming over. I suspect he has his second restore. Yeah, he does. He can't save this one. This one's too far gone. But he will be in position to use his final restore on that other one. Imrik should probably back off. He's taking a lot of damage. He needs to get up in the sky. Needs some time to get Earthbloods. The Necrosphinx is actually going to rout him, which is a huge win for the High Elves, because I actually think it is a mistake for Imrik to still be on the ground. So I think him routing just takes the agency out of the High Elves player, and he can actually just get to safety, which he now is. So he can spam Earthbloods and be back. For the High Elves, they're falling behind in the balance of power. Don't necessarily disagree, though I'm not sure the game is over just yet. That Ushabti, the full health Ushabti, is fake. It will fade away in 40 seconds. We have seen Imrik can do great work against the Necrosphinx. We also know there's plenty healing left for the High Elves if they can just stall this game out. We still have Fireborn with 37 models. Okay, yeah, the High Elves are fine. They really need to group Imrik up and the Fireborn up so that they can all receive Earthbloods. But, yeah, 37 models is huge. That's so much healing that these guys can still receive as Imrik's trying to get over to them, hopefully. He's trying to rally some archers right now, but, like, the Earthbloods have to be getting spammed out a lot more. The Hives are falling too far behind in this game, where you know the late game favors you, but you don't want to, like, make the late game even later. Kind of need to get this shit going. As he picks off a couple infantry to get his archers back. But, come on. It's not like Earthblood has a long cooldown. Get Imrik over here. Come on, group him up, and then Earthblood. Stalling did help the High Elves wait out that Ushabti summon, though, so the Ushabtis are gone. There is a nice big Earthblood. He even overcasted it. Like the overcast on 3 important units. The Arcane Phoenix also depends on RNG, but it might have its own rebirth. So could it have its own healing as well. What up, Jepadu? Another sad storm is out. Looks like that's the 3rd and final one, though it did some decent damage to the archers there, as they are trying to retreat, but they are retreating into the sandstorm, getting killed off. But both sides have reset. High Elves want to delay as long as possible so their archers can keep shooting, but also more Earthbloods can get popped. Imrik is going to try and hold the Necrosphinx in place while the archers fire in on the area. And he is popping his Star Lance, so it looks like he's just going to fight while his buffs are active and then retreat when his buffs are down. I'm surprised he hasn't used Lord of Dragons on Necrosphinx. I think it's off cooldown, but guess not. In comes the Fireborn, but an Usurian's Incantation of Vengeance does a lot of damage to them, especially when it's overcast. Wait, I don't know if the overcast actually does anything. Never mind. It is undercast anyway, so it doesn't matter. But big damage onto those guys. They are getting picked off so quickly. But the Omen of Usurian, or just the thing? No, he's just the regular Flamespire Phoenix. Whatever, it doesn't matter. He's killing Grand Hierophant. Kotep gets a ton of hits on him with the Fireborn helping out. Necrosphinx terror outs away a bunch of stuff, but Kotep is crumbling. Nice big breath attack in from Imrik, and the balance of power is evening right out. If I were the Necrosphinx, you can't protect Kotep at this point. I would snipe that Lifecaster. You need Imrik to not be able to heal anymore. As Incantation Curse Blades comes out from Kotep at the last possible second. That's why there hasn't been as much healing. Kotep keeps resetting her cooldowns. I was wondering why Black Knight wasn't spamming it. So his spells have been getting canceled, and his Lord of Dragon has been getting put on cooldown. That's what's going on. I knew Black Knight wasn't a troll. Now, speaking of not being a troll, Imrik definitely needs to land and help the Arcane Phoenix, who is currently losing that fight quite badly, saying, like, Imrik? My Lord Imrik, please aid me. There's another Earthblood out from the caster as she is about to rout Ushabti surrounding her and beating her to death. The Necrosphinx has a silver chevron from his battles in this game. And the Tomb Kings, even without Kotep, are maintaining a slight lead on the balance of power. Lyrian Reavers come back for a brief fight, but with the Necrosphinx here, it will not be a long fight. Not much. What's down with you? Just busy, brother. Just busy. Arcane Phoenix and Imric trying to get out the last of their aerial attacks before they have to land in the face of danger. Necrosphinx is going to charge straight through the archers who are poking them down. Necrotech is a lot of balance of power this late in this stressful of a game, but he's not actually that dangerous. Imric can kill him super easily, so the last thing that really matters is this Necrosphinx. It looks like the High Elves are trying to kill off all the Spearman support before taking the fight with him. Which, I mean, makes sense. Skeleton Spearmen and catch those archers. They'll probably shatter at this point. I feel like those archers specifically have routed quite a few times. 0 leadership. There we go. They've routed. They didn't shatter, but they did rout. Ooh, Imric's down! Imric lands on the Necrotech, gets a little poke off, and then he's going to go back into the skies. The Necrosphinx thinks about chasing him and then just decides to ignore it, instead going for the archers. High Elves just cleaning up everything that's not an undead monstrosity. Lord of Dragons is back down the Necrosphinx, again lowering its melee attack to pathetic values, but it still gets a shot on the Arcane Phoenix. Bonus versus large doing a lot of work, plus I think it honestly got a charge. Another Earthblood to heal up the High Elves. Bounce power's tipping away from the Tomb Kings as the Necrosphinx continues to take big hits. Imric is nearing his heal cap, but he used all of it since that Lifecaster is still running around. Necrosphinx trying to join the fight, maybe help the Necrosphinx by debuffing these guys with his Vambraces of the Sun. The minus 24/24s, but it's not enough. There goes the Necrosphinx, there goes the game, and the High Elves, hard carried by Imric, and honestly this Arcane Phoenix did a lot of work too. Overcast doesn't do more damage, just slows more. Gotcha. Kotep with the 2,300 value. One of the Ushopti did well, the other one got rolled. One of the Necrosphinxes did very well. The other one did not do that great. He did okay, but not that great. The other side, Imric did fantastically. So did the Fireborn, so did the Phoenix. Some of the archers got really solid value, and Spearmen, they did their best. They did alright. Alright, good job, Spearmen. Good for you. We are on to our next map. So we know the Tomb Kings have been bested. Wood Elves versus Greenskins is up next. Oi! Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, oi. Greenskins versus Wood Elves is interesting. I think I know how Black Knight likes to play it, but I won't reveal that information, because otherwise what's the point of the blocker? You think in general Lords in Warhammer Total War are too powerful? In general, no. In general, no. I think what is too powerful is healing. Healing has been too strong for a long, long time. And generally, if you think of the super powerful lords that can carry games, you're thinking of lords that have access to healing. Like, Imric relied pretty heavily on all those Earthbloods. King Lewin of Bretonnia relies on his passive healing plus the Lore of Life. The Dark Elves used to carry really hard with their single entities, and they use Soul Stealer to keep healing up all the time. Trying to think of what other lords. The Bale Taurus lords of the Chaos Dwarves rely on that Dark Chalice healing. Vampire Council lords all rely on Invocation of Nehek healing. They always heal cap before they die. What else? The Steam Tank Lord of the Empire is not as bad if they can't take regrowth, but if they can just regrowth him, then he's fine. Kairos used to be a problem because he had regrowth, and after CA took that spell away from him, you don't even see him anymore. So, yeah, I think a lot of the lords that you're thinking of require healing to be too strong. Archie's the exception, I suppose. That's true, but at least he costs 3,000 gold and has no healing, so you have to, like, really work to make him do a ton for you. Back to the Colossal Squig talk. It's all you want, Ryan G. Maybe an Orc Shaman Lord. I think the Ogres are going to have the most interesting conclusions. Yeah, but I also think the Ogres have the most room to get stuff interesting. Like, the Greenskins have a pretty flushed out roster. The Ogres are a fun roster, but pretty one note right now. Like, Ogres with big guns, Ogres with small guns, Ogre with big clubs, Ogres with big clubs and armor, Ogres riding pigs. That's it. Like, then you have Stonehorns, 2 types of Noblars, and Giants. And that's like literally the whole roster. So, I don't know. Ogres have the most room to get some more Noblar variants, get some more interesting Ogre variants. Maybe. Greenskins could have some interesting stuff. I'm surprised we got Orc Spearboys and Sword Goblins before the DLC. I'm happy for it, but I would have suspected that CA would use those to pad out their numbers, you know, like, oh, each faction gets 4 units, and the Greenskins got Spear Boys and Sword Goblins. Those are 2. But they released them early, so fuck, I don't know. They must have something. Probably have the Spear Chukka, the Bolt Thrower. They honestly, the more you talk about it, the more they probably have the Colossal Squig, because you need a big monster, and I can't think of one the Greenskins don't already have. Black Orc variants are possible. Like, they don't have a shielded Black Orc variant. The Crimson Killers are a dual weapon variant, but I don't know. It's probably shielded Black Orcs. Trying to think. Are Orc Biggins possible? Like, do we think that that's a thing? Or Orc Javelin Throwers? I don't know. Could be things. Not sure, but I think you're right. Out of the 3 factions, I think it goes. The Ogre Kingdoms have the most to gain. Khorne is also a pretty bare bones roster that could have a lot of fun stuff added to it. And then the Greenskins have the least to gain because they're already pretty darn flushed out. So Lords don't behave like kings and chess is the weak spot? No. Lords are very powerful in this game, but I think, like, relatively rightly so, because a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are very excited about the characters in Warhammer. So then when you play the game, you kind of want to, like, pick the badass character you were reading about in the books, and you want them to do well. Like, you don't want to just pick, like, oh, this is my favorite guy, I read 3,000 pages of his lore, and then, like, he gets into game and he just fucking sucks, and you wasted your time, and it's like, oh, protect me, I'm weak and pathetic. It's like, And also in the lore, they're kind of that way. Like, Malekith straight up kills entire armies by himself unless Tyrion gets in his way. Like, in the lore, they're just super gods. And I think that's something that's different from historical Total Wars, where your general is something more to be protected than used, like, aggressively. In this, your lord's kind of a super badass, and that's just, like, that's the setting, you know? So, I think it's fine. I think it's a decent criticism where if you don't like a lord being super powerful, then yeah, you're gonna have issues with this game, like, for sure. But I guess I'm the type of person that thinks it's badass. Are you excited for the new Ogre units? Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. Savage Orc Aura Boys, so why not Biggin? True. I'm surprised the Scorbad Ironclaw first, not Gornfang Rockgut. Oh, did they announce that? Alright, I gotta cover this game. Stop being interesting. But I didn't know that they covered that. I haven't heard anything about the DLC besides what factions it is. So for game 2, Inkars is down a game. He lost his Tomb Kings, but he's back in it. We have Orc Borbo Biggins, Morgoth's Ranging Marauders, a Snotling Pump Wagon with Flappas, 2 Stone Trolls, the Swamp Things, more Orc Borbo Biggins, so very cav and mobility heavy Greenskin build. 5 Goblins, Sword variant is their front line. We do have the Night Goblin Warboss with Fermented Fungi, in spite of the Bad Moon. Then we have a Goblin Big Boss with They Need Stabbin' and Sword of Antiheroes. And then we have Brainburster and Fists of Gorg. Black Knight is not playing this how I thought. He normally takes Durthu, I thought, in this matchup, and then just, like, the end game becomes me kiting him out with, like, 3 or 4 Greenskin archers and just trying to kill Durthu, but he's going a different way here. We have Wild Hunters of Kurnos and other Wild Riders, Glade Riders on some of the flanks, a Dryad front line with triple Deepwood Scout in the front, a Glade Lord with Helm of Discord on his Elk mount, and then a Spellsinger of Life on foot with Earthblood, as is the Black Knight special. Savage Spider Orc Trolls. Wicked, that's how we do it. But the Snotling Pumpwagon Flappas did a little bit of harassment, now they need to run away. They were given 360 shooting armor-piercing grenades that maybe they can use to hurt the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. It looks like they're baiting them. They're baiting them into a trap, and now the Wild Hunters are in a fight. I think they're going to get rampaged, most likely. Yep, there's Fermented Fungi. He just wanted to bait the Wild Hunters of Kurnos into a fight way ahead of their front lines, and now they're getting eaten alive by two different Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Other Wild Riders and Deepwood Scouts are pouring in some damage, but this is a big win for the Greenskins. They would gladly trade an Orc Boar Boy Biggin for the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. That very, very powerful Fireborn of the Wood Elves is huge to take out as Morgan's Minion Marauders fire in for free. Pump Wagons have fallen back, and they need Stabba Big Boss going to fight the Elk Lord. You can get some decent shots down. Now, the Wood Elves have healing, the Greenskins don't, so that is going to be a problem. And the Trolls are busy helping Goblins chew through Dryads. This should be very one-sided against the Dryads, as the Goblins won't hold for long, but they'll hold for long enough. We do have two Orc Boar Boy Biggins chilling. They have not been activated yet. They do have to get moving, as some Trolls have already gotten through the front line and are starting to harass those Deepwood Scouts. It feels like the Wood Elves are in a lot of trouble. Damage value is very even right now, but I'm just getting worried. As the Night Goblin War Boss and Big Boss team up to try and fight this Lord. They are surrounded by Dryads, so they want to be a little careful. And some of those Greenskin mobility elements are going to the back line to shut down Deepwood Scouts who have been pushed out of range. Greenskins winning the front line overall. We do have Orc Boar Biggins being dragged from the left flank over to this one. Looks like they're going to try and support their Lord and Hero. Those guys need help sooner rather than later. Wild Riders are also getting in the fight. Where's the next Fermented Fungi? Because I wouldn't hate for it to go onto this Wild Rider. Just lower its melee defense and keep it in a fight with two Orc Boar Biggins. Could be quite solid. Over here, Trolls and those Snotling Pump Wagons getting stopped by the remnants of the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, but they are ripping through Glade Riders as well. Deepwood Scouts staying online for now. But for now is kind of a key part of that. Greenskins losing a bit of momentum on this side, getting stalled out and shot at by the Deepwood Scouts. The enemy Lord got away. Another Brain Burster hurts the Deepwood Scouts just a little bit as the Swamp Things continue to fight. The Snotling Pump Wagon's also chasing in. And that terror brought in by the Swamp Things actually routing off some of the Wood Elf Cav. The Wild Hunters of Kurnos are rather elite, so they'll be back quickly enough. And Dryads getting close to routing. Morgan's Ranger Marauders still firing in. We still have two healthy-ish Orc Boar Boy Biggins on this side. They're getting to a fight with the Wild Riders. I do need to see another Rampage, and I really don't want to see it on the Lord. I know it's tempting to put it on the Lord, but you could take out this very expensive, very flighty cavalry, or you could hold their Lord in place, which is probably not going to die in the duration of your Rampage, so I don't know. I'd just rather see the Wild Hunters get taken out. It's not like the Glade Lord's doing particularly much. River Trolls, in the meantime, getting shot by Deepwood Scouts, getting run down by Wild Riders. That flank is kind of collapsing for the Greenskins a bit, and he's going to Fermented Fungi the Deepwood Scouts. That is not what I expected at all. As Morgan's Raging Marauders are getting in there, but I don't know what they're doing. It doesn't look like they're fighting the Deepwood Scouts. They're just moving up to support this fight a bit. As another Brain Burst that tries to keep this Lord on the run as the Goblin Big Boss has been harassing him down. Stone Trolls are trying to come up too. But some interesting Rampage targets that I am not sure if I agree with them. Orc Boar Biggins trying to hold, but they're kind of running out of HP. They need to just kill off these Wild Hunters, these Wild Riders. It is taking them forever to kill this Wood Elf Cavalry, which... not to belabor the point, but just rampage them. Just rampage them, lower their melee defense by 24, kill their ass. Orc Boar Biggins have abysmally bad melee stats, so if you lower their melee defense and rampage them, that'd be huge. Stone Trolls running out of leadership as they chase down the Deepwood Scouts. The Goblin Big Boss routes. The Night Goblin War Boss is now left all alone and surrounded, and if he dies, the Greenskins might just lose this game. And I was feeling like they were doing so good, and then some very questionable decisions there cost them quite a lot. As now the Night Goblin War Boss looks to be going down. If he routes, the Greenskins leadership will falter. Well, I suppose not if he routes, if he dies or goes all the way off the map. But now the Orc Boar Biggins are charging in. Night Goblin War Boss just has to hold for a little bit longer. Help is on the way. Help is coming. And if you route now, you're a little coward. Boar boys are here. They're trying to help. They're trying to bail him out. Wild Prince of Kurnos are so low, but other Wild Riders still running around, still being a nuisance. We have a bunch of rallying units that need to get brought back into the fight. Goblin Big Boss is back. I see a lot of routing flags. The Wild Hunters are routing, so is Night Goblin War Boss, but that's kind of okay. Without the Wild Hunters to block him in, he should be able to get to safety and rally, so he should be okay, unless those Deepwood Scouts have something to say about it, even though they just took another Brain Burster to the back of the head. The Wood Elves are running out of HP, while the Greenskins are low on leadership. The Greenskins just keep cycle routing, even though they have HP to fight back. The Wood Elves don't have the HP, but they refuse to ever leave the battle. Goblin Big Boss is in. They need stabbing plus the Sword of Anti-Heroes. He is back into the fight against this Glade Lord. 1,000 HP on the Glade Lord. Night Goblin is at about the same, but an Earthblood is there to heal the Glade Lord. No one is there to help the Night Goblin. He's taking so much damage. He gets rear attacked by the mage, and that will break him. Greenskins falling behind in the balance of power yet again. Night Goblin War Boss is here. But the Deepwood Scouts are chasing off the trolls. Dryads are also running to chase down the trolls. And Orc Shaman is now going to get isolated and killed off by the Wild Riders. We need Morgan's Raging Marauders to stop chasing shattered units and come back. Orc Boar Bacon's also trying to come back, but they get routed off by Dryads. And there is a fermented fungi. Big rampage on the Glade Lord. Lowers his melee stats enough that the Night Goblin War Boss can come hopping in. Is going to take him down. 100 HP. He is dead. And the Wood Elves lose their Lord. Now, their leadership is a lot tougher than the Greenskins. They have more metal to them, but still, it still hurts. Orc Shaman takes a nasty shot. He's going to rout. Night Goblin War Boss is also going to rout. They're surrounded by Wood Elves. So probably get taken down as more Earthbloods come in to heal those guys. Morgan's Raging Marauders now stop chasing a shattered unit, are going to return, but they're going to chase down the Dryads. They're not going to charge in and try and save Night Goblin War Boss. I don't think the Greenskins have enough oomph left as those Stone Trolls get walked off the map by Dryads. Other Stone Trolls, I mean, their Lord is forfeit at this point, so when he dies, their leadership is just going to tank, and as soon as the Wild Riders look at them, they will rout off the map. Unfortunately, this is the end for the Greenskins. You can see without their Lords, Stone Trolls at 2 leadership, RR River Trolls 13, Morgan's Raging Marauders 11. So they're not doing too well. We still have Wild Riders, we still have healing, and this is going to be the final charge. Everything will break in this fight as the Deepwood Scouts get taken down. So do the rest of the Trolls. Am I being too pessimistic? Can the Swamp Things hold? No, their leadership falls apart so easily. And they shatter, and army losses. Damn. Overextension on the Night Goblin War Boss. When he was so close to killing that Lord, but then didn't quite manage to do it. Oh well. Wild Riders all got amazing value, except for the Wild Hunters that got rampaged in that really nice trap and then shut down. Deepwood Scouts with their Swift River Shards, lots of good value there. And then the Dryads did pretty okay. Yeah, it was the Wild Rider show. Wild Riders! Greenskins are down. Vampire Coast has to beat up Bretonnia, or it's a 3-0. Coast versus Brett will be the last game. Wood Elf has 2 lifestyle choices, softwood and hardwood. Only one faction reigns supreme over Wood Elves. The Empire. I'm still mad about how my Empire stream went. Like, overall it was pretty good and I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. And I'm happy it ended when it ended because I didn't want to do a part 2. But I'm so pissed off that the fucking vampire counts can lose a fight and get half their army back just for free and end up better off than they were. Like, they lose the fight and they end up better off because, like, if you both enter, let's just use numbers. We both enter at 100. I win the battle and I'm at 25 and they're at 0. And then when we get back into the campaign map, the game's like, nah, they're at 50. So then the next fight, they're at 50 and I'm at 25. And I'm like, wait, why am I getting punished for winning? Like, technically, to win this battle, I should have left, like, every unit at 5% HP, then surrendered. And then he would leave the battle at 5, and I would leave the battle at, like, 30. Instead of leaving at 25 and 0, which he gets bumped back up to 50. Like, that's just stupid. That's stupid game design, and I hate it. And I know people are going to be like, well, in the lore, the vampires raise the dead. That's cool, but they kind of need to do that on their turn. It's not like Manfred loses a battle against, like, Volkmar the Grim, right? And as Volkmar's chasing him, Manfred's running away on his horse, and then he just gets to turn around and say, nuh-uh, and half of his army pops back up in formation full vigor. No, like, he would summon 1 or 2 skeletons at a time, or, like, if he got away into the forest and he had a second, he would resurrect a bunch of army and come back at you. But, like, if he gets away is the key part, not, like, in the same battle, he just goes, nuh-uh, and his army is just fucking back. It pisses me off. I think we're all in agreement that Greenskins needs a full ground up rebuild. Yes. Yeah, I feel like the Ogres campaign is like a neat idea, but I feel like the camps just scale too slowly to really be that good. Full disclosure, I only tried 2 Ogre campaigns. Once I got to turn 40, and then I got bored and quit. And once I got to turn 20. So, if it gets fun after that, then I just didn't get there. Hi, Necromancer. Hi, Airstrikes. Units that raise from the dead should be capped at like 25% max HP when they come back, but have shown 100% proc rate when you win the battle as VC. Oh, 100% proc rate. Gotcha. You more meant Greases and multiplayer? Dude, both. like both. Is the Ogres campaign great? Would we call it great? Let's go. Let's do this. Game 3 isn't the last game. If you want this stream to go the distance, you are Inkars's Vampire Coast's biggest fan, because he's going to have to win 3 games in a row versus Bretonnia, then Wood Elves and High Elves to win this stream. Or if you want the stream to just end right frickin' now, they're rooting for the filthy, stinking Bretonnians. I always play with the Great Ogre Hall. It makes camps movable. Oh, that's good. That's good, dude. That sounds like a good mod. I don't generally mod my games, but if I did, that'd be a good one. Alright. Here we are. For the stinky bad guys, the French, the ones we don't want to win, so the stream can continue. We have Grail Guardians, Royal Hippogriff Knights, Knights of the Realm, King Lewin up in the sky, a Damsel of Life on foot with just Earthblood, which is the Black Knight special. Then we have Peasant Mobs and Peasant Spearmen at Arms, 4 Peasant Bowmen, 2 Field Trebuchets. On the side of the Vampire Coast, for Inkars, the hero of this stream, the comeback kid who's about to mount his valiant defense at this moment, we have 4 handgun mobs, front line of regular old deckhands mobs, actually 5 handgunners total. A Polearm's Deep Caster with Tide Call and Denizens of the Deep, plus Van Horst Speculum. Okay, that is wild. 2 mortars, 2 hand cannons, the Shade Wraith Gunners, and then animated Hulks and Rotting Prometheans, including the Lamper's Revenge. As an Ogre fanboy since day 1, in Total Warhammer 3, the Ogres are only fun to watch. Are only fun with a lot of mods. Alright, good that I'm not the only one, because I want to like the Ogres. They might be my favorite faction thematically in Warhammer 3. Cathay is kind of fun. I do enjoy their campaign. Khorne is kind of one note. Slaanesh is just not for me. Tzeentch is not for me. Talking about their campaign thematics, not like their armies. Nurgle's not really my jam either. It's none of the Chaos guys. Yeah, I'd say Kislev and Ogres are probably the 2 I was most excited to play. So I would like the Ogres to be more fun. Ryan Smith, Ogres. How you doing? How you doing, Taco? Hope you're doing good, brother. Love ourselves some flying taco. I suppose the game started. Do you want to talk about that, or you want to keep talking about ogres? Alright. Trebuchet's firing in on the hand cannon groups since they're a little more square formation and easier to hit for those guys. Meanwhile, the Shade Wraith Gunners abusing the peasants' low leadership, just getting them to rout, while the mortars did a good chunk of damage beforehand to make that a little easier to deal with. Handguns mobs now end up in archer range. It looks like they're just going to go for trying to out DPS these guys, push them off, and then isolate and kill the cavalry second, rather than really try and keep the handguns safe and just let the archers do whatever they want. As already 2 of the archers are routing. Quick little tide call to take out a third one, so 3 out of 5 archers already routing away. The coast has lost half HP off of 2 handguns for it. Not bad, as the hand cannons also deter Lewin from flying in. There go Hippogriff Knights. Just gonna take out some deckhands mob, doing a bit of sweeper control, but I wonder if they might take a lot of repercussion damage from this. 2 of the Shade Wraith Gunners and handgun mobs trying to punish them. Other handgun mob has taken Lewin down to half HP, so good start for the coast. Incars is up 2-1 on early game damage from Black Knight, and the zombies easily get through the peasants. First Earthblood is out onto the Hippogriff Knights, not Lewin. Really trusting Lewin to take care of himself, while the Trebuchets peel off the hand cannons. These basic handgunners are getting a lot of damage out. And whether or not Lewin can heal himself up, you know it's a healing-based game, so Bretonnia is going to heal cap regardless, so all the damage onto Lewin is still good, still sticks. I do like this more. Well, I don't like that the handgunners somehow ended up on top of each other, so it's a 2-for-1 charge to the Grail Guardians. But I do like shooting at the Grail Guardians and Hippogriff Knights more with your guns. You can actually take out full models, whereas Lewin is a 1-model thing, so you have to kill him to get any value out. If you start shooting at the Grail Guardians, you can actually kill their models off and just lower their effective damage. Problems for Bretonnia, though. Big problems. The archers are all so wounded that they easily get peeled off and pushed back by either tide calls or mortars or the Shade Wraith Gunners, so they won't be a reliable threat in the late game against these last remaining handgunners and hand cannons. What were these guys doing? Oh, Knights of the Realm did a suicide charge in the back to shut down the mortars. Okay, missed that, but that makes sense. Anyway, what I was going to say is it's not like you can rely on the archers to kill the Lamps Revenge if they all get routed off or whatever. And then the hand cannons would love to party with Lewin and the Hippogriff Knights. Grail Guardians and Lewin trying to snipe out any outliers for now, avoiding the center of the formation after they took a bunch of damage last time they were here. And ow! Shade Wraith Gunners plus handguns all firing up into the Hippogriff Knights, who realize the error of their ways and they're going to start to run away now. Still will take a couple volleys on the way out. Not too keen on dodging. Not that they can, they're a multi-entity model, it's a little harder. McRightface, I saw that, I'll get to it in just a second, but we're kind of in a key part of the game, sir, so I'm going to ignore it and keep moving on. I'm ignoring you! As Lewin tries to fight the Polearms caster, but not going well for him, so he'll back off. Grail Guardian's starting to get a bit of a flank, and still these handgun mobs are ending up on top of each other, which is going to be a big problem for the Vampire Coast. It means on one charge, the Grail Guardians can disrupt multiple units and get a lot of damage out, but the gunners are starting to peel them off. Shade Wraith Gunners need to refocus up as archers are re-driven back and back and back. The peasant lines are falling apart, so still the zombies and the animated hulks, the lot of Prometheans, they all move up, but this is the problem. The Grail Guardian's able to take out 3 gun units that were all on top of each other for nothing. Knights of the Realm finish killing off the mortar. They're now going to run up to the Shade Wraith Gunner team, so things falling apart for the Vampire Coast in this late game a little bit. Getting concerned about them as this caster is all alone. That Rotting Promethean is a summon. It's not real, so it's going to fade away, and then all of a sudden this guy will be standing all alone. Van Horst Speculum is out to make these guys a little more vulnerable to attack, but there's nothing really here to attack them. The coast not able to protect their gun lines, clumping up their gun lines too much as well is such a big problem. And now they're about to lose their lord. Massive overextensions here from the coast. What? Why are all your guys up here? Bro, everything that matters is down here. Your guns, your lord. Why is everything up there? Who gives a shit about up there? Bring them here. They're coming over now, but they've lost half their lord's HP. We have handgunners trying to rally. The Shade Wraith Gunners do get a couple shots off here and there. Looks like they might just be shooting at archers to get them to rout once again, but the Polearms caster's trying to get away from Lewin so he can get Invocation to Heck. He just needs some bodies. He needs some mass. His Lamps Revenge and Animated Hulks are trying to come to his aid, but they're so fucking slow. They'll get here now, but he took so much damage. All right, McRightface, thanks so much for the 5 memberships. I'm glad you didn't give one to Ryan Smith. That guy doesn't know how to play ogres. All right, the Lamps Revenge are in a great spot. They love fighting with all these elite knights at close range with their shotguns, can do a lot of work. We just need the Vampire Fleet Admiral to heal up, but oh shit, he doesn't have healing. He's the Deeps version. He didn't even bring the Hunger, so he's just stuck with the HP that he has. That's pretty brutal. We do have one handgun mob. They shattered off the Knights of the Realm, protecting themselves, so that is quite nice. Another Earthblood in onto the Knights of Bretonnia. Undead factions are still punished after the buff crumbling damage. Wicked, if you look like in-game Greases, I don't have to extend my deepest condolences. So this is a great fight for the Vampire Coast. The Lamps of Revenge are doing amazing damage. They love fighting in this melee. They love healing up slowly. They love shooting their shotguns. And Van Horst Speculum going to make these guys even more vulnerable to that kind of attack. So this is a good win for the Vampire Coast. Can try and get it back in this game. Handguns are shooting at peasant mobs. You gotta move, brother. There's a giant pile of armored knights you gotta go kill. Get the fuck over there. As animated hulks are sweeping the back line, getting rid of trebuchets, getting rid of archers, getting rid of all that stuff. They're now starting to charge downhill, but their lord is still taking damage. Like we said, he has no healing. Handgunners, stop it! Shoot the goddamn knights! I'm getting so furious! Lewin's taking a ton of damage to Lamps of Revenge. Lamps of Revenge trying to carry animated hulks and rotting Prometheans rejoining the fight as the knights struggle to finish the job. The Vampire Fleet Captain is taking a lot of damage. Stop shooting the fucking shattered peasant mob! Turn and shoot the healing caster that's right in front of you. Turn and shoot the spearmen at arms that are coming after you and chasing you down. Shoot all the giant knights in the blob. Stop chasing the fucking peasant mob! I'm going insane. I'm losing my fucking mind. Another nice tide call through. Lamps of Revenge carrying this game, putting it on their back as the Hippogriff Knights are thinking about routing. Grail Guardians also not doing too good. Lewin is nearing his heal cap. You know what they really need right now is the Great Maw. Oh, the handgunners get caught by the spearmen while getting shot by the trebuchets. Hippogriff Knights getting very low, still have 6 out of 12 models, so if they get a bunch of Earthbloods or something, they'll be okay. So really hope the Vampire Coast get extra damage on them on the way out, down to 4 out of 12, and they are routing. Grail Guardians, plenty of healing left to go for them. There's an Earthblood onto all these elite units. And the Trebuchets are moving back up. Handgunners have peeled. Okay. We have one armor-piercing unit. Now we can form up with our monstrous infantry around the handgunners, and then whenever the Knights come in for a charge, they'll take a big old volley of gunfire straight to the face. Good. Clean up the trebuchets. You can do that. They're too immobile to avoid you, but for the love of God, don't leave the handgunners all alone or the Grail Guardians will kill them instantaneously. Please. Please. Also, we could send the Lamper's Revenge to go kill the life caster. Like, I think killing trebuchets is fine, but also after you kill the trebuchets, if the Knights want to be coy and run around, I would definitely go run down that caster. Shotguns firing uphill into the Grail Guardians. Royal Hippogriff Knights, 3 models coming back. Less than 1,000 HP on them as the handgunners try and set something up. Seem to be having troubles getting line of sight, but now they're just going to shoot those Hippogriffs out of the air. Animated Hulk's able to peel for them easily. And this volley should honestly take these guys out of the game. Extra 200 HP damage. Oh, they don't rout because they start charging. They don't rout because they start charging. Now the handgunners are going to have to peel for themselves. Animated Hulks realize that they abandoned their duties and come back to the fight as an Earthblood tries to heal up the Hippogriffs. Handgunners did not fire. They're now trying to run awkwardly. What? Why are they going diagonal? Look at, he gave them orders to go here and they're running into the peasants like, oops, I've fallen into the peasants. Oops. How is this happening? Oopsie poopsie. Now they stop and fire at these spearmen at arms. Hippogriffs rout again, down to 500 HP. Grail Guardians getting low, and no one can deal with the rotting Prometheans. ROR. They will carry this, and I am glad because I wanted more games. Single file formation is crazy right now. It is crazy right now. So the animated Hulks are going to rout off the Damsel Life eventually. Guns are helping out, and I think the coast wins at this point. Oh, God. Lewin completed the snipe. It doesn't matter as much because the Lamprey should be fine, but Lewin did complete the snipe. Hippogriffs are back for the final time. If they rout again, they will shatter. All right, the coast really have to rout this bitch. Handgunners need to get some shots off as well, as the Vampire Coast Lord is dead. Hippogriffs have shattered. Handgunners need to shoot, and yeah, I definitely would shoot the Grail Guardians. Don't shoot Lewin. Don't shoot Lewin. You can't see him. He's such a small target. Please shoot the Grail Guardians. Or shoot that bitch. Either or. Lewin's getting so low. He is heal capped. He can't keep getting healing. He can't keep getting away with it. His Lampers Avenger surrounding him, shotgunning him in the face. Down to 1 leadership. Not that it matters too much. You pretty much have to kill him because he's just going to fly away and come back. As the handgunners are shooting at Spearmen at Arms. Fuck those guys. The animated Hulks chase down the Damsel of Life, but they are actually crumbling, which could be problematic. We'll find out later. Grail Guardian's still trying to carry. Lamper's Bench healing cap is in sight. Lewin is down to 800 HP. Taking very little damage in melee with these guys, but the shotguns, whenever they fire, that's when you know the big damage is coming in. Lewin routes off. The Damsel of Life is routing. Everybody's routing except for the Grail Guardians, who the Lamper's Bench are still fighting. Lady, protect us! Where's the Grail Guardians? Handgunners poke Lewin a bit more as he flies away. Bounce power goes into army losses level territory, and in-cars will clutch it out. I got so scared in the mid-game, but he has enough to complete the job and take us to a game 4. Will you animated Hulk stop crumbling? Lewin's back. Grail Guardians are hanging on for now. Animated Hulks have faded away, but there is army losses. In-cars does it. The legend. The lad. Coastal hippogriffs known to feast on yearly crab migration. David Attenborough, known line camper. Yes. So now what happens, actually we should go through this quick. This guy actually got a ton of value, so really good pick with the pole arm of Deep's caster. I just think he got overextended at one point. Handgunners, the one that stayed alive got a lot of value. The rest did okay. Shadewraith Gunners did fantastically. Animated Hulks and the Prometheans, wow, Lamper's Bench hard carried. Mortars did their best. Then aside for Bretonnia, Hippogriff Knights got shot so much, but the Grail Guardians and Lewin did a lot of work. Knights of the Realm flanking around and shutting down those mortars was also pretty huge. In-cars got rid of all the peasant archers so quickly that they didn't get much done, and the trebuchets, pretty consistent, slow DPS. Turns out that when all you feed your children is chivalry, you develop a seafood allergy. True. Alrighty. So he just made his pick, but I'll do this first. Alright, so in-cars defeated Bretonnia. Now, his Vampire Coast get to go back through and fight whichever of these he chooses that he thinks he has a better matchup in. He chose Wood Elves, so game 4 will be Wood Elves versus Vampire Coast. If the Coast lose, the stream is over. If the Coast win, he will face the High Elves and see if he can reverse sweep. Literally reverse sweep, because he incidentally picked the backwards direction. But didn't have to. He could have picked either High Elves or Wood Elves. I do think Wood Elves is the easier choice out of those two options. High Elves into Coast is actually pretty tough. It's not undoable, but it's pretty tough. Coast reverse sweep, let's go. I'm on Team In-Cars now. At least till game 5. Here's my promise. I will root for In-Cars super hard to get to a game 5, and then I'll switch over to my boy Black because he's in my clan. So this could be a good dub for NC, the Night Crew. But I'll root for In-Cars in this next game. I want to see a game 5. You feel like the Deepcaster is a super risky pick? It was risky, but In-Cars is a man of danger, intrigue, and passion. I thought you'd been kicked out of every clan. Nah, fam. I figured Wood Elves are tougher for Coast. Not as much. Like, it's neither of those matchups is great. I'll be honest, neither of those matchups is great. But High Elves' super high melee defense makes them almost impossible to get through in melee for their front line, so that you know the coast has to shoot you. Where at least Dryads or Eternal Guard don't have nearly as good of melee stats as High Elf Spears do. So, like, I'm not saying all of these are great ideas, but like Cyrene Rush, Depth Guard Rush, Rotting Promethean over the top Rush can do a lot better than they can versus High Elf Spears, where High Elf Spears will just never break and kill you. With that exact example. So yeah. So when your only way to deal damage to High Elves is range, the High Elves know to look out for bomber mobs, mortars. Honestly, that might be about it. I don't know what you can do with the High Elves, really. And then High Elf Cavalry is also uncontested because they have heavier armor than Wood Elves Cavalry. So even if you get a good engagement with Scurvy Dogs onto, like, Dragon Princes, whoop-de-fucking-do. That didn't do any damage. Where Wild Riders, if they're not careful, and you get Scurvy Dogs rear charging them on Deckhands mobs with pole arms, that unit will die pretty fast. So, neither of the options are great because both of the elves have a lot of archers and the coast doesn't like archers, but Wood Elves is just more doable. Here we go. Kept largely the same build, just added some Fellbats and one Bomber. Ooh, wow, actually no. He took 4 Deck Gunners. Interesting. On the other side for the Wood Elves, we have 5 Archers, a whole bunch of Cavalry, Glade Lord, and a Lifecaster. What's going on in this neck of the woods? A desperate fight from the Vampire Coast to save Incars' entire career. Why has Human Boy been kicked out of the clans? Because I'm fucking toxic, brother. Is 5 Deck Gunners Fruit Rose legal? Yeah, they're only 700 gold. They're cheaper than... No, they're not cheaper than Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. They're like the same cost. They're 50 gold more expensive. It just looks weird, because you think of them like Giselles or Crane Gunners or Hawkland Long Rifles, but they're actually much cheaper. I'm a little concerned that Black Knight brought 7 Cavalry, and this is a lot of range to defend, but I think it's a solid build versus the Wood Elves. I think it's just kind of what you have to do. No Aranessa, no win. Turtle Punch, unironically, I like Aranessa in a couple matchups. I like Aranessa in Bretonnia, because her net and anti-large are very helpful, but looks like Incars really likes his little Deeps caster with pole arms tech, so he's going to keep doing that. Brought same guy, Tide Call and Denizens of the Deep, really trying to spam out stuff for the Kiss of the Deep passive that procs across the entire map. The rest of the build, we saw it loading in, but 4 Handgunners, 5 Deck Gunners, one of which is the Shade Wraith Gunners, Animated Hulks and Rotted Prometheans gunnery mobs in the back, and 2 Fellbats. A couple of Deckhands mobs in the front line. The other side for the Wood Elves, a very minimal front line, 3 Dryads, 2 Eternal Guard, 5 Glade Guard, none of which have Starfire Shafts, so if the late game came down to the Lamper's Revenge, this would be tricky, but there is no Lamper's Revenge. And then it is instead all of the cavalry that the 7 kingdoms can rally together. We have Glade Riders, 360 shooting, Glade Riders with spears, the Wild Hunters of Kronos, then we do have the Glade Lord, once again with his Helm of Discord on his Elk Mount, and then a Spellsinger of Life on foot with Earthblood. The Cav can run through the woods and get to the Wood Elves with very little damage. True, which is why Incars is deploying as far away from the woods as possible, because he knows that is a possibility. Actually, the more I look at it, the more I like this Vampire Ghost build. I'd say if both players played their sides literally perfectly, I'd say the Wood Elves win 55-45. But I feel like, again, I think this matchup is Wood Elf favored. If you forced me to pick one, I'd say it's Wood Elf favored. So I think 55-45 is actually probably better than your normal odds. Yeah. I don't know. If he routes anything, he has Fellbats to chase them off. all these deck gunners are going to kill the enemy archers before they really get in range. So as long as your hand gunners and mobility focus on taking out the Glade Riders right away, that'd be pretty huge. In comes a Vanguard from the Glade Riders, though. They actually ended up deploying behind the Vampire coastlines. Shade Wraith Gunners trying to get to safety as the other deck gunners are going to turn around. Hand gunners are going to turn around. Everybody's going to turn around and try and kill these guys before they take out the Shade Wraith Gunners. Big damage in, relying heavily on that physical resistance, but they are ghosts. They cause terror, which will actually save them, as the terror will rout off the Glade Guard before they take too much damage. Now elsewhere, the jig is up. The Wood Elf Vanguard has been spotted, and the handguns are turning around. Now none of the Wood Elf army is in range to punish this, so all of the guns turn backwards. Even the deck gunners are turning to shoot this way instead of dealing with the archers, because the archers aren't even remotely close to in range. One of the Glade Riders is already shattered, another one is routing, and another one is at 1/3 HP. Do still have some Glade Riders in the fight. We still have some Glade Riders kiting out the back, but overall, a tough start here for the Wood Elves, and Inkar's again taking an early game lead. Now last time he took an early game lead and then it got real dicey in the mid game, so we'll see if this time he can keep that lead throughout the whole game. But the deck gunners have now shifted to firing at the Glade Guard, while bombers and deckhands mobs buy these guys just a little bit of space. Don't want to let the archers get into range for free as other deck gunners turn and shoot backwards. So the deck gunners really splitting their fire all over the map, just causing problems for the Wood Elves no matter where they go. Some of the masses moving up. I actually like this. Abandoning their backline to go harass the archers and let the backline defend itself, because if you have animated Hulk bodies in the way, they actually can't shoot at the Glade Riders or the Wild Riders or anything like that. So maybe just giving the guns open lines of sight is pretty good. Now that you've taken care of most of the Glade Riders, most of the cheap shit can't dive in onto you, because look how low they are. They can just easily get peeled off. You don't need all these animated Hulks in the backline, and they're just running out to keep the archers at bay. So yeah, I like that a lot. That's good use of their time. Shade Wraith Gunner is still online, still providing that Discourage debuff. The Glade Riders trying to find a way in, but these deck gunners are not allowing it. Wood Elves still have a good amount of their main army left, but their Vanguard force is entirely in shambles. Still trying to get a couple damages in here and there where they can, and what Glade Guard are in range are firing, but the Wild Hunters of Kronos are going to have to put on a hell of a game to carry this. It looks like they might charge over and sweep up this animated Hulk who's caught out. Though caught out's a strong word. They're deliberately running out here to die and buy time for the deck gunners, which they are doing. This is a 500 gold unit. It's a Clan Rat and a Skaven Slave worth of gold. It's not a big deal. Wild Hunters of Kronos not taking too much damage just yet, as the deck gunners and handguns are more focusing on the cheap shit that keeps diving in on them. In comes a full health Glade Rider. Don't know where this was hidden, but it is a bit of a problem as the handgunners try and turn and get some shots off, but they are not going to reload in time, and the Shade Wraith Gunners might just go down. Other handgunners trying to turn and fire sideways. Do we have another early game lead for the Vampire Coast that will fade away as we are losing the Shade Wraith Gunners? It looks like they'll start crumbling, and again, this is no Vampire Caster. There's no healing to be had whatsoever. Some of the archers getting back in range. Dryads are also here, and the Wild Hunters of Kronos might look to make their move, diving in soon. And Black Knight is slamming up on the thing, the damage value, that's what it's called, as he takes out the Shade Wraith Gunners. This guy's starting to crumble, this guy's starting to crumble, and all of a sudden the lead is less than 1,000 as Black Knight is back in it. Balance of Power is worse than that, but we know better. We know better than to trust the Balance of Power. Balance of Power is a lying fraud. As more and more stuff starts to fade away, handgunners are under attack by these Glade Riders. And it is concerning. Still have some handgunners over here. They're trying to shoot at the Glade Lord, but again, this happened last game too. They really wanted to shoot at Lewin when he was surrounded by mass. They can't see. Please, they can't see. Turn and shoot something that's not surrounded. Shoot the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, for God's sakes. As the deck gunners turn to do just that, but now they're rethinking it. Going to shoot at these super tattered archers instead. Want to get rid of those guys before they get in range and do this, as they clean up several handgun units and deck gunners. So the deck gunners need to kill the last of the archers. Handgunners are trying to do that too, but they've taken so much damage while they were waiting to shoot at the Glade Lord they literally couldn't see. Wild Hunters are free to go onto the back line. It looks like we're about to lose 2 more deck gunners. I honestly think the Wood Elves are going to take the lead in the battle after this. So Rotting Prometheans continue to chase after Wild Hunters of Kronos to get something done there. The Halberd Lord is just chilling, vibing, being alive. We still have 2 Glade Guard that are healthy enough to keep firing. We have a handgun mob in the distance that's doing all right. This animated Hulk probably needs to run back and compromise the archers, not just chase around this Eternal Guard that they can't really hope to beat. But great! Finally, the Spellsinger of Life gets surrounded by crabs and might get taken out. Another Rotting Promethean summon is back on the battlefield to help clear out some of these infantry. But if they can kill this healing caster, maybe the Vampire Coast can clutch this out through just a game of attrition. I don't know what kills the Wild Hunters of Kurnos at this point, as all the guns are shut down and dead. The Wild Hunters of Kurnos can freely cycle charge with their armor piercing, so I'd still rather be the Wood Elves in this case, but at least the healing caster is gone. Glade Lord charges in to the pole arms caster. Helm of Discord is down. That pole arms caster's fighting back. Van Horst Speculum, so both sides losing 24-24. It's a net negative. Net nothing? Net nothing. Negative net. Net nothing, negative net. Blade Lord takes a bunch of damage, thinks about bowing out, but he can't escape the crabs. The crabs will not allow it. Their sticky claws holding him in place while nibbling at his spine. He does retreat, but he's at about half HP, so that was a bad time for him. Lifecaster's not taking too much damage, but is still routing. Animated Hulk's trying to chase off these random Glade Guard, who are starting to shatter. They've just been routed too many times. The Rotting Promethean summon fades away, and just as that very healthy, spooky summon fades away, the balance power shifts heavily against the Vampire Coast, and I must say, I roughly agree. This is not the Lamprey's Revenge. They are not slowly healing their way to a grinding victory. There are archers free and clear to fire in as support. Wild Hunters of Kurnos can cycle charge as much as they need to. That'll be probably it. It was a good attempt from Inkars. He got pretty far ahead off of Black Knight's over-eager Vanguard, where he charged in without the rest of his army being able to support, but the Widows were able to back off, still keep that backline pressure up, and once the the deck gunners finally got abandoned, they could just dive in and sweep them up. Earthblood out to seal the deal. Army losses will take it. And Elves, OP. Elves undefeated. GG's, lads. GG's. Got off work. What did I miss? You missed everything! It's the end of the stream, dude. It's the end of the stream, brother. Handgun mobs got decent value. Deck gunners got decent value here and there. The Fellbats, I don't even really know what happened to them. I'm guessing they distracted archers for a bit, but they did get destroyed. The other side, for the Elves, Ultron Skronos and the Glade Lord did fine. Glade Riders got largely wrecked. They did some disruption. They did some backline diving. The archers still did do good work. Wood Elf frontline all died for the cause. Darn straight OP. Wood Elf's the best faction? Yeah. Vampire Coast are eliminated, and Inkars is down. He tried his best. As for Black Knight, he remains with Wood Elves and High Elves still up. What was that? What was that? That was inappropriate. You didn't see anything. Inappropriate. That's not right. You can't do that. All right, I'm leaving. Inkars wins because I say so. Who was the elf player? I don't know. Some guy. Some person that we don't associate with here. Oh boy. What is coming up on the channel, my dudes? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's coming up on their channels. Wait, that's not how that works. All right, hold on. We might have done it stupid. Avert your eyes. It's cringe. All right, we have a lore video tomorrow. It already has 61 views because I have members. I have members on the channel who can view the videos early as soon as I post them. We have a Malekith video. We have a 1v1, then we have a 1v1, and then we have a 1v1. I thought I recorded another 4v4. Guess I have not. I have a 4v4 in my soon to record thing, but yeah. Lore video tomorrow. Come on. People love lore videos. Look at them. Look at them all. Curse of Cain, Down to the Wire, Tomb Kings but no cats, and snake venom is more important than rat plagues? What? That's crazy. Look at all the content. My god. I don't know. Is my channel dead? I think my channel's dead. Let's see. 2,500, 3,700, 2,500, 2,400, 12,000. All right, let's go to the current. 38, 43, 32, 61. Okay, yeah, this channel's dead, dude. This channel's fucking garbage. Oh yeah, it's too zoomed in. You guys can't see the viewership rates. Look at that. Look at that. 38 views on my most recent video. 38 views. Dead channel. That makes me so sad. Look at this one. This one came out October 22nd and it got 1,000 views. The next day, October 23rd, 61. Next day, October 24th, 32. Horseshit. It's horseshit. I don't have anything actually intelligent to say. I'm just being stupid at this point, so how do I fix this? Oh, I was on the wrong tab. Yeah, okay, that would do it. I was looking at my mouse on the other display. Alright, anything you want to say, or should I leave now? Let them fight? It's over. It's over. What do you think of the quad compasses? That was pretty funny. I liked it. I liked it. Alright. Goodbye, everybody. Dev kits. What? I see you ignoring my FFA comments. I am. I am intentionally. You want a little sneak peek at something fun? So, let's take a look at the new player games. Oh, look! Empire! Oh, look! Empire! Oh, look! Empire! I think there was one more. I thought there was one more Empire game. Maybe it's in the finals or semifinals, but I don't want to spoil that. So yeah, Dev Kits, if you're out there and you're still looking for Empire content, catch the new player stream. There's a whole bunch of Empire. We have Volkmar, we have Franz, we have Boris. So at least 3 different lords out of 3 games. I mean, that's pretty good. You hope I have a very rat evening. That's good. What the fuck is that spooky coast build? None of your business, unless you show up to the new player tournament.